Hey there folks, MJ Knight reporting again. Just found this link from the Bristol Post on Fosborough's Facebook page, which I shall leave in the link in the description below. And the article reads, could Bristol be about to get new trains, stations and a better rail service? The article opens with, Bristol could be in line to get new trains, new stations and a major facelift at the city's biggest transport hub as part of a major shake-up of the rail services in the city. Well, in all seriousness, we've known for some time that Temple Meads was going to get a major facelift, considering it is word on the wire that they're going to take the car park out of Brunel's original station and actually reconvert that back to actual platforms to be able to accommodate the electric high-speed trains that are actually going to be coming into service as of next year. As of when next year, that hasn't been exactly made clear, although it'll probably be either the summertime or October, November time next year. So, on that one, stay tuned because we really don't know. It continues. Ironically, the news has emerged in the same week that it was announced funding is being pulled from the scheme to electrify the rail line between Bristol and London, which I might add that is taking its sweet time too, because apparently that is something like 2 years and £4 billion over budget. Make of that what you will. We know that they've lowered the track in the Box Tunnel, in the Victoria Gardens in Bath, and apparently they've done piling work in the Twerton Park Tunnel. They've lowered the track at Keynsham, and they've done piling work in the Brislington area. It's only a matter of time before they start putting up the electric cable to be able to accommodate the electric trains just to be able to get down here. I mean, we know that the Severn Tunnel opened up just a little over 3 weeks ago, after installing the electric cable in there so that trains will be able to go through there. But again, it's slowing things down a little bit. But anyway, continues. The decision is a major blow for the city, but now it seems plans are in place to improve services on local rail routes. The improvements include 3 new stations, major refurbishment at Temple Meads and new rolling stock. Well, with regards to the rolling stock, considering the new Hitachi HSTs that are coming in, that's a no-brainer because we knew that was going to happen. And the high-speed trains that they've got currently, which is being converted from First Great Western, over to GWR. Keep in mind, some of those high-speed trains have been around since the 70s. So I think it's fair to say they more than got their money's worth out of it. And again, the refurbishment to Temple Meads, that's been on the cards for a while. And the other word on the wire that I've heard is they're actually going to put a second main entrance on the side where the defunct post depot is that used to feed post and parcels via the conveyor belt above, which has since been removed because obviously the electrification is going to come in. And yeah, 3 new stations coming in, and I'm going to get to this. As part of the improvements, a new feasibility study will be carried out next year, commissioned by Bristol City Council. Which, there was one that was actually done earlier this year with regard, which I read out in a video that I'll leave a link in the description. Which will even leave an end screen, an end screen annotation for that. In fact, there's been quite a few on St Anne's Park. The study will look at new approaches for improving local rail frequencies, a further look at options such as the Henbury Loop, and consideration of new stations to serve Ashton Gate, Horfield Lockleys, and the one that I'm most interested in, and I'm sure you are as well, St Anne's. Now, I have been saying since 2013 that St Anne's should be considered to be put back into circulation as a railway station, because look at East Bristol. Look at the A4 Bath Road. You know, it's also another thing where I've said, somebody will say, oh, you know, it's not that far. It's not that far to walk. It's like, yeah, well, it'll only be like 4 or 5 minutes from St Anne's down to Temple Meads, but via the same token, that's more or less the same time rail distance wise, because trains that are coming in or out of Temple Meads, they have to keep to a set speed before they're actually allowed to go at the maximum speed they're allowed to go at, dependent on the length of the train. And it's about the same distance. And this is something I discussed with someone else. They countered by saying, yeah, but would people be expected to walk from Bedminster to, you know, to Temple Meads? And I go, well, why would you expect people to walk from St Anne's to Temple Meads when putting a station there would be much more feasible? So yeah, my point stands on that, and it's like I say, the congestion that Bristol is getting, considering in 2013 it was named the most congested city in the entire United Kingdom, which is ironic when you've got metropolitan-sized cities such as Manchester and London respectively, and they're not as congested as Bristol. I mean, that that is a mind bender. And you know, I've been saying for, like I say, you know, last 3 to 4 years. I mean, because, you know, going into 2017, so it's more or less 4 years. But, you know, I've been saying since 2013, this needs to be done. You know, considering more and more people are going to the railway now and leaving cars at home and certainly not taking the bus. I mean, I don't take the bus unless it's the only way I can get to a particular destination. But if I know I can get to a destination via the rail, I'm taking the bus out of principle, because I think buses today are overpriced. Anyway, long tangent enough. Consideration of other options where are best delivered as a package or standalone projects. The aim of the new study is to carry out an assessment to discover if a series of Bristol rail options could potentially form variable business cases in the future. Again, I think St Anne's would be a very good business case, because, as I've said quite in the video, which I shall leave in the description, it will serve the Avonmeads retail park extremely well, because it will bring people in from other communities that probably didn't even know that retail park existed, and they'll be like, oh, I like that shop, oh, I shop from there regularly, oh, you got a showcase, hello. That's just a personal quirk for me, because everyone knows I love movies. So that, you know, that's one plus side. Second, you're going to cut congestion down. Third, you're going to slowly reduce emissions down. And, you know, 4, people are going to be less stressful because they're not the ones having to do the driving. So that's another one. You know, people are going to be more zen and, you know, more happy to get to their jobs, if such a thing exists. You never know. When the study is completed, more detailed investigations may take part in support of planned improvements where funding is available. Mark Bradshaw, Cabinet for Transport, said, with rail capacity enhancements such as Filton Bank 4 tracking underway and the extension of the Great Western Main Line electrification to Bristol Temple Meads expected to follow, Bristol is ready to attract new funding for local rail schemes to support housing and jobs and to combat traffic congestion, which is pretty much what I just said. We are obviously disappointed with the recent government announcement to defer elements of the electrification programme, but we will work closely with the Department for Transport and Network Rail to understand what this means for Bristol to clarify the timescale for the work to be completed. However, we remain focused on Metro West Rail Phases 1 and 2, which will deliver a major uplift in services and facilities, together with the newer trains being cascaded from the Thames Valley. We do need to look beyond this and demonstrate our ambition for rail government and other partners, which is where the study comes in. This includes turning Temple Meads into a modern rail interchange. Consultants will specialise rail expertise will be appointed in early 2017 to oversee the study. Now, with what I know that they are going to do to Temple Meads is, technologically, they're going to update it to 21st century standards, but at the same time, keeping and honouring and respecting the heritage of what that station has served in the near 200 years in its existence. So you are likely to see maybe newer buildings put in place, but the actual structure of Temple Meads itself will not be altered because of the fact it is a listed building and therefore cannot be pulled down, or the structures that have been in place in the last near 200 years have to be intact as they were. They can repair and replace certain things, but as the means of a listed building, it has to remain as it is. With regards to the forward tracking at Filton, they took it away in the 80s because and we're actually going to do something with the other two sides. I think we're going to put roads there. I could be wrong. Comment section below if I am wrong, which chances are I am. But they never did anything, so they're looking to put the forward track back in, which to me is a no-brainer. And I don't know when exactly they're going to be extending the electrification of the Great Western Main Line past Temple Meads, because best to my understanding, as we currently stand, it's only going to go as far from London to Bristol and then Bristol to Swansea. Apparently that is as far as the electrification is going to go with regards to GWR. So as we currently stand, I don't foresee the electrification going down to Yatton, Weston-super-Mare, Taunton, or all the way down to Penzance. That may come within a few years, but as things are presently, don't hold your breath. Because that's one of the reasons why some of these Hitachi high-speed trains are bio trains, which by extension they are electric trains first and foremost, but when they go down to regions of the track where there is no electrification, the electric connectors will retract into the roof and it will then switch to the diesel engines, which kind of makes sense. It's basically a train version of a hybrid car in some variation. So yeah, pretty much said all I need to. Comment section below, just get the conversation going with the hashtag bring back St. Anne's Park Bristol, and I'm excited by this. I mean, yeah, it's another thing that we've had to hear before. I'll also post a link in the description for the petition to get this brought into Parliament so that it can be debated, and then bring that that situation to Network Rail, and hopefully we'll now see some progress being made, because I've been saying, like I say, I've been saying this for the last 3 years. St. Anne's Park needs to come back. Needs to. Until then, folks, I'll see you next time. Good night from the night.